Okay, music. Music didn't want to stop. I turned it all the way down. It didn't want to stop. I'm stuck on that tune, though. Whole crap of background music. For some reason, I'm just stuck on that beat. It's just so rough. Yes. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Lancescurv.substack.com. That's where you have to go to get all of the writing. I just wrote an article. I didn't put it out yet. The nerve of Donald Trump to say, there's a lot of I agree with it. Understand? Hey, I'm gonna call it like I see it. This is not gonna be a political show like that, but I'm gonna just say it. He's talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna restrict all the aid to Africa. We're gonna restrict all Africa. Africa don't need you if they get their act together. They got all the resources, the minerals, the everything, and the countries over here in Africa. It's like, we don't need you. We're going to get together with the BRICS nations and do trade with everybody else. America's a small place. And like I said, after they to I have another show I want to do about how American media smears the image of Africa. I'm over here right now. I'm living. I wish I would have found out about this a long time ago. Yes, certain countries do have their yes, but the how can I put it? The way of life, the style of living, just the certain things that come free. Perception, and we have people over there like, it's a, why would you want to go over there? Why would you want to go over there? So poor, and the mosquitoes, and the children over here hungry. You got to go to Whole Foods to get your vitamins and all this stuff and get that sugary so-called non-GMO food. It's just dropping the trees out here. When I first saw that, I'm like, I don't even want to come back to America. You got to give me a good reason to come back, though. When I do, it's not going to be long. I'm sorry. I love it. I love the home. REM sleep every night. I feel bad for my friends in America that don't get a chance to get some REM sleep. They sleep. They don't get the REM sleep I do. I'm going. I didn't really want to fire this up to talk about this, right? But I had to say it. I was rocking some good music from back in the early 80s, energy, and I still got balanced energy, making the adjustment in my life and getting rid of the fraudulent backstabbers and stuff. Now I'm clear and free, and not just now. What a wonderful feeling that is. Let me just put my little floating banner on the bottom with all the information throughout the whole show so people can see. All right. That one, go to Substack or go to Lancescurv.com or YouTube, right? Remember now, YouTube is secondary. You're not going to get everything on YouTube. On Substack, y'all. Lancescurv.substack.com. Soon, by the end of this week, you can just go to Lancescurv.com. It's going to take you there. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, doom, doom. That's what. The Staple Singers. I had that record. I used to play that every day. Wow. And I want to get into doing some nostalgia also, because a lot of the experiences I grew up in week show, twice a week show, bringing back old memories that a lot of folks can vibe with and identify with music, people, places, things. The places that's a rich history. I'm not going to let that go. So be prepared for a wide variety of different things as was originally planned on the channel. The people into that everything no exploding. And when I say I'm coming out, I don't mean anything rainbow, but I mean just coming out and just being who I am. The things that I have in my head, I want to share them. And it's a lot of phenomenal things, funny things. Yeah. On with it. Let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. Let me see here. Okay, I just made that banner. You know, I didn't want to make it too evil, but you see an evil Santa Claus. They say, ain't that something? The holidays that we follow and celebrate, and why? Do you know why? It's because everybody else is doing it. Right? Everybody where they're like kind of spaced out. Every month there's something different. It's never where every week there's this is a week day grab. And on the other side, just because, you know, like they say, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Well, ignorance of what's going on behind, and even though we know we catch a hint of something, we don't want to really know it, because if we really get to know it, we're going to be chastised if we continue to celebrate it. It's like something, an alcoholic pedo. You have family secrets. It's, oh my God, I don't want to know about that, about him, because we had good memories and I don't want to know about that. You know, a prostitute on the street, but it doesn't mean anything. She's out there hoeing. You don't want to hear that, but you got to face things head on. Because if you don't, look, many Black families and families in general don't want to really see. It's like, okay, we know what we kind of see. It's a family secret. We're quiet, but we don't really want to know. This is how folks treat the holidays. They break down. They'll even be, no, I'm not going to celebrate Christmas. No. You meet a new girlfriend or something. Oh, you can buy me a Christmas present? Okay. You got to be a trooper with this thing, man, because the brainwashing is real. You know how many people get locked up? I know this firsthand because I worked in a jail before, right? How many people get locked up right before Christmas because they got caught stealing, robbery, home invasion, and now you're sitting in the cell with this guy or a couple of them, and they're talking and say, hey man, you know, not everybody now, but there was pressure to get someone, and really Christmas on a business level is there so that the bottom line of a lot of these companies can be brought up at the last minute. That's why they have it December 25th. Oh, it's not looking for a year. They make up at Christmas what they didn't get for the whole year. And that's why it's there, right? But most people don't want to know that, or they didn't know that. Let's go. Let me see, I have my camera here in front of my chat room, so I'm just keeping an eye out for that. Let me just take a peek over there. Renee Green, welcome morning, Green, here, all the way from the West Coast. Technology is a heck of a thing. Wow, bringing the world together, hopefully in a good way, right? The lies behind the holiday. What in the hell? And put some words in there that I will put up on the Lancescurv.substack.com page. I'm not putting it anywhere else. In actuality, it's not shut down the studio, but I'm not going to put any more posts there. It's going to be where I told you at the Substack site, right? And that's going to be scrolling across the bottom. Writing, which I'll get. We have Brother Malik Aziz tonight at 7:30. And we're going to speak about the legacy of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. I will be partaking now and then. I'm going to do it. We're going to go on a roll. And tomorrow night we have Brother Neil Frazier, a.k.a. Metamorphosis. So Sunday and Monday is always going to be jam-packed. A little. But the lies behind the holidays, what in the hell are you celebrating? Many holidays celebrated in America and around the world built on deception, bloodshed, and spiritual corruption. While people believe they are celebrating in good faith, The reality is that these traditions often originate from pagan rituals, satanic symbolism, European colonial propaganda designed to reinforce control over the masses, especially Black people. Let me tell you something, especially Black. This presentation exposes the truth behind these holidays and explains why they are fraudulent celebrations that Black people should reconsider observing. We should reconsider, okay? We crying about, oh, they're taking away Black History Month. But then we go and celebrate European holidays. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all lost their mind? Right? Or we know they lost their mind, but have you lost? Let me rephrase that. Have you lost your mind? First of all, they can't stop you from doing anything. Right? If we do it on our own and amongst ourselves and teach our children around identity on the weekend, when we go to the park, we go fishing, whatever we do, we need to celebrate our culture. Do we need somebody else or their permission to celebrate that? That's like going down to the state or going down to the government. Excuse me, government, can I have permission to celebrate my daughter's birthday or my parents' birthday? Huh? Or anniversary? Can we have permission for that? You don't need permission for that. But then again, here we are on Christmas, Thanksgiving. Oh my God, Black people celebrating Thanksgiving? I'm going to say it. Are you stupid? Stupid. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm asking if you're stupid. Now, if you're the type of person that on these jobs that give holiday time and you want to spend it with your family, fine. But don't tell me you're celebrating the European Thanksgiving holiday. You may say, oh, come over for Thanksgiving. You can say that, but you don't mean it their way, right? And nobody should be crying out a Black History Month. Because what were you doing anyway? Do you have the practice of not only for the month, but all year, teaching your children, not just the usual people that you see up on the poster? I got nothing against Malcolm X. You know I'm a Malcolm X man. Martin Luther King, right? Rosa Parks, right? But they never tell you of the more, I don't even want to say militant. It just means something that's not acceptable. It's beyond, it's a little radical. No. Let it be radical. Let it be militant. That's their language. Because usually when they affix that word to one of us in the present or in history, it's because those are the righteous rabble rousers who weren't going for it, who were going to change the system and who stood up. Right? Like tonight with Malik Aziz at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, we're going to celebrate the legacy of Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Now, how many institutions and colleges say, let's let the Black people celebrate that? I mean, we're going to do it anyway. Going to do it anyway. Why do we wait to tell us what to do? Other people don't wait for the government to tell them. Jewish holidays like crazy. Yeah, I must say it. Back in the late 60s and 70s, up until 81 when I got out of high school, I thought I was Jewish because I was off every single Jewish holiday. You know, the educational system, you know, we're off tomorrow. Why? Well, it's a Jewish holiday. Oh, okay. But then when we were younger, in the mid 70s and early 70s, young now, this is how conscious we were as a collective, not everybody. But in elementary school, we had this thing that we said we wanted to call Solidarity Day, Black Solidarity Day. Listen, wherever you are, if you remember that, if you're of age and you remember us getting together and saying that, and it wasn't anything official as far as the school system was concerned, but they were like, we better not piss them little Black people off. And they didn't say Black people either, because they have Black parents at home that might be backing this up. So they didn't say anything. And some people were scared that, or what they might do, the teachers, to counteract it, they would have a test on that day. This is an important test that you have to take on the day that we said it was Black Solidarity Day. Ain't that something? So we come in for the test, and we trick them. Oh, they're not celebrating. We scared them with the test. No, we're celebrating them all. We're not going to be here. It's better. Thursday, but take the test. Friday, we got a little weekend. That's what it's all about. For real. We continue on here. Now I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna put these notes up and these writings up on lancescurv.substackyall.com. I'm gonna keep on it. I'm not gonna put anything on lancescurv.com right now. Lancescurv.com later in the week will turn into lancescurv.substack. I have my buddy, he's working on the domain name switch, and it should be, it takes at least maybe 4 days. So everything will be there. So just go directly there and subscribe, right? Number one, New Year's Day, the fake beginning of the year. Celebrate January 1st as the new year. But is it really the beginning of a new cycle? The truth is that the calendar we follow today is based on the Gregorian calendar, which was introduced by Pope Gregory the 8th. I'm sorry, the 13th. That was another pope, right? In 1582, long before I was born. Before that, ancient cultures, including African and indigenous civilizations, marked the spring equinox as the real new year, the time when life begins to renew. That makes sense? Flowers bloom and the cycle of nature starts fresh. January 1st is actually based on the Roman god Janus. Maybe not in it properly, but I see a J in front of anus, so it's Janus. I don't want to know what goes on in that holiday. Who had two faces, one looking forward and one looking back. I've seen that before. He was the god of transition and doorways. Now, see, that don't sound right. He was a god of transitions. Janus. Celebrating the new year on this date is a pagan tradition that ignores nature's rhythms and forces people to live by an artificial cycle imposed by European rulers. Let me say that again. Celebrating the new year on this date is a pagan tradition that ignores nature's rhythms and forces people to live by an artificial cycle imposed by European rulers. Artificial cycle, y'all. Janus. I don't like J and anus. No. Like planet Uranus. No, I'm not going to that planet. That's a rainbow planet. Somebody's gonna thumb it down. He's getting on us again. No, I'm never getting on y'all. Don't want to do that. That's not my kind of ride. But yeah, artificial. It's just like when you go to church and you see this stained glass, maybe a photo. It's a storefront, right? But if it's an elaborate church, you see this stained glass rendition of Jesus, and he's got his hands holy, some holy hand type thing, and looking a certain way. But behind him, you always see like an aura, the sun, right? He's standing between you and the sun. That always struck me funny from young, because I was always one to ask questions. I didn't care who it was. I'm like, why don't we go outside and get the sun ourselves? And why is he blocking the sun? Why is he blocking nature? Why is he blocking life? Through me, you can only come through me to get life. No, I'll leave you inside here and I'll go outside and get my direct life. The life-giving properties of the sun. See, they're always putting something artificial in front of us. And we got to go through them. And if they can't stop they can't stop the real thing and make us worship them as gods, then we're rabble-roused. We're not seeing it right. Bill Gates wants to block the sun. Why does he want to block the sun? Bill Gates is a devil who wants to block life, especially for Black people the world over. I'm jumping around all over the place as the thoughts hit my head. It's just too much. This world, the wicked people. You got a computer dude, a Microsoft dude. Maybe that's why him and his wife divorced. Maybe her nickname for him was Microsoft and soft. Maybe that's why he wants to get at all the Black men in America. I'm Microsoft and I want to kill them all. Oops, I said kill. Oh, this video might get struck down. It's the truth, though. They always give us something artificial and take away the natural. Not only that, but they want to profit from the natural. If you give you a little bit of the natural, you're going to have to pay us. Well, who made you a God beside God? Hates and the people like him. And then people with them jabs a couple of years ago, and we still got people walk around breathing their own, breath, less oxygen. Because we're gullible, we don't think, we don't challenge, we don't really look into certain things. And it's not abstract thinking, it's proper thinking, logical thinking. That's sick wearing a mask, making you more sick than anything else that's out there. I didn't say anything bad according to the YouTube standards and community guidelines. No, I know how to dance near that line. Only the amateurs get caught now. You know what I mean? But yeah, they always want to take something away. You see the alligators. I remember I was in Florida driving the bus, and there were certain areas that were fenced off and big lakes, and they had over there by, where is it now? I'm forgetting. Turkey Lake Road. And it was another street that crossed over I Drive. And there's a Whole Foods by there, but across the street, it wasn't like alligators were hanging out where they can get you, but there's a huge lake behind the apartments, and there were alligators there. And there was one part where there was a big tube that one of the alligators would always come out in the sun. They'd lay out in the sun. You see your cat, leave him out in the yard, he goes and lays out in the sun. It's not just vitamin D. There's a spiritual element of being out in the sun. You got solar power of the sun, and that's something man-made on the principle. Well, what about us? Next time, whether it's early or late, when you go out, hopefully early, right? Look at the sun and see how you feel. Open your eyes and stare at the sun. Open your eyes wide and let the sun rays go in. You're going to get the sensation on a different level. You should drink some type of liquid, not liquid, but you're absorbing something. And this is nutritious to the body. And if you see, when you're hungover or you're up late at night, you're tired, you don't want to see the sun. You want to hide from it. But get your rest. You wake up and you look in the sun and you feel this surge. You know, even if I happen to be up late, which just completing my studio is kind of hard to go to sleep. Kind of like it in here, right? But I still get up relatively early, and I will be getting back up again, usually at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, to be able to do a few things, get it out the way, and be right there waiting for the sun. Just waiting for the sun. Waiting for you, son. I see you get up. Dang on, Lance. You went to bed before I left, and now you're up before I get here. The natural rhythms that celebrate New Year's on January 1st, that's not normal. That's not natural. Happy New Year, and it's cold and freezing. If you live in a certain part of the world like I did growing up in New York City, ice and cold. This is New Year's? New Year's? For real? And spring, and that's the New Year. To me, it doesn't make any sense. They're always pushing something on us. Let's move on to the next one. Valentine's Day. Words in here that I jotted down in my research. I do not, well, no, not this one, but there's a couple down the road that I'm like, how do you pronounce that? I don't care. All the notes are going to be on my page on Substack. Valentine's Day, a day of lust, sacrifice, and deception. Valentine's Day is marketed as a day of love, but its origins are rooted in Lupercalia. That don't sound right. It sounds like the pedo word, but another one like worse. Lupercalia, that's Lupercalia, if you want to kind of look that up. And that's an ancient Roman festival held February 13th to the 15th. Woo! So there's a lot of people who just finished celebrating it from yesterday, right? Where men would sacrifice animals, smear their blood on women, and engage in sexual rituals to supposedly bring fertility. The Catholic Church later replaced this with the legend of Saint Valentine, who was said to have secretly performed wedding Roman law. Read between the lines with that, right? Secretly performed what kind of weddings? That was against Roman law, right? However, the truth is that this holiday has nothing to do with love, It's a day of ritualistic blood sacrifice and lust disguised as romance. Disguised as romance. So when you look today, to even step away from the whole Valentine's Day thing, our way of looking at love is warped. I'm not accusing or saying anybody here who's watching the show is that. But modern so-called society, the developed society, developed for what? Is it really developed as something good for us? We look at it so different than what we should, and we know that we're off too. We know we're not operating because we don't have that sense of centeredness, of wholesomeness, of things that are right. You have certain types of lifestyles and certain types of unions where the majority of them will say, oh, Harry, I love you. I love you too, Bob. And as soon as either parents come over, yeah, you know, we're roommates and whatever. You know, even us who are hell, men will tell women that they love them. Just go ahead and say, I lust you. Be better, be more honest. Oh, damn, baby. I lust you so much because you're just a body part. But we have to dress it up and say, it's love. But are you ready to commit for the rest of your life? Are you ready to sacrifice for the rest of your life? Are you ready to stay person like if they were paralyzed in a wheelchair and drool coming out their mouth and you got to wipe their behind? And tears coming out and eye droopy and they can't cook, they can't do nothing for themselves. That's commitment. So they're pretty and fine and shapely and performing acts on you and you doing it for them and ooh, it feels so good. And you look at it, well, look how fine you are. Things can change quick there, buddy. And we're going to find out if you're going to get committed or hit the road, Jack, and go look for another whore. I'm not calling the original a whore. I'm just saying we lust and we call it love. Western society is a messed up place because the examples that we see, not only what they tell us on a superficial level, but really is something else. It's war, divorce. Now, if somebody's cheating on you, beating on you, making babies behind your back, I understand that. Harming you emotionally or you're hooked up with a narcissist, whatever, I understand that. But the thing is that this, I'm going to come back right on back. Even with marriage, we are marrying for the wrong reasons. For those who are religious or spiritual and say, yes, God ordains. No, lots of times you ordained it. Damn, look at that backside. Woo. Oh my God, look at her lips. I know she can do some damage with that. That's you. That ain't God. You chose that. So now when it ends up all messed up based on Western standards, because in other cultures, that doesn't even come into play. Some cultures, the women are covered up. You don't see what they have. How about that? You see their eyes, and boy, some of them eyes are seductive. But we walk around like a dog in heat, and we want to choose that because of a body part. A body part is not going to raise your children right. A body part is not going to comfort you when you find out and get that phone call that your mother died. And you look at this woman who you lusted after and call the wife, try to wife it up and build something around it based on just, there's no mutual respect. There's no common goals. What are the standards of how you keep a home or how you treat each other, right? The Western world has all of this stuff, and we say Valentine's, and it's a financial transaction. And they go to work the next day. Your woman, your wife, your girlfriend, what did your man get you for Valentine's? Well, he didn't give me nothing. Oh, he ain't no good. If he loved you, he would have bought you something. And you got the people out there on the side of the road, don't even look like us. Sometimes Korean, Chinese, Indian, everything, they got the roses out. You think they're going to pick a rose or go and no, they try to make money and bring it home with the real love. Baby, I got the money. Let them fools spend on this fake holiday with their twisted standards. And probably next year, they're not even going to be together no more. Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, I'm going to make some money off these fools. Keep your money in your pocket. have a common goal financially. Little sweetheart, three more years, we're going to build this nice big house. We're going to this. Yeah. Get these people. You got Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine going down every month, sucking your pockets. And you just give it up. And the advertisements, and you get all gassed up. And who's in the mall? Us. Feeling, oh, yes, I bought my woman this for Valentine's Day. And the jeweler, how you spell it? Jew, jeweler? I'm being funny. I'm reading between the lines. They ain't celebrating no Valentine. Their wives are in the, yes, and here we have 18 karat and 24 karat, and it's so much, but it's only $1,500 more. Yeah, and I know you love your honey. You know, they could say she really likes that one. Pressuring you in front of your woman. Getting the money out of you. That's what all these holidays are all about. And we celebrating them too. Going to the liquor store, getting drunk, going to the hotel where somebody didn't be with. Hotels making money. Uber's making money because you're not taking your car. It goes beyond celebrating a holiday. Number 3, resurrection or pagan fertility worship. Easter is presented as the resurrection of Jesus Christ, but its roots trace back worship of Ishtar, the Babylonian goddess of fertility, sex, and war. Ooh, that sounds like somebody bipolar. Fertility and sex, and you're going to fight. The habits associated with Easter are ancient fertility symbols that predate Christianity by thousands of years. The name Easter, it comes from Eoster, a Germanic goddess of dawn and fertility. The celebration of Christ's resurrection was merged with pagan fertility rituals to make Christianity more acceptable to European pagans. Europeans are doing all this stuff long before, and they want to have you fooled and you celebrating some fertility goddess, which for us would be so fast, so easy. We don't have to go down to these fertility clinics. You know, I always said that. There's other people whose birth rates are going down. They're going to the fertility clinic. And not all Black women. I'm just saying this as a joke. You can take the downtrodden neighborhoods that they call hoods, where things are real tight, and you see some woman who eating cheese doodles and kids eating oily hamburgers, whatever, popping them, healthy. Kids coming up, young boys coming up playing football, big necks and strong. And over across town, they're in the fertility clinic taking shots and being careful. Don't do anything the next 6 months of your pregnancy. Just rest. You got sisters with a big stomach out there going to work, lifting things, doing groceries, whatever. You go out in the Caribbean, you come out in Africa, big stomach, and they chopping down bushes and doing whatever. It's almost like they just say, hold on a second, I'll be back. Pop. Baby damn near come out running around and grab the sword, the machete, and start helping. The next day, boom, they're right there. We are strong. Don't let the way of doing things weaken us. They got all these diseases out here. You think they just came naturally? Don't you know that these things were made on purpose because they know that our drive is so strong? And we got to be careful and in control of who we lay with, because our own sex drive will kill us in the name of fertility, in the name of that. Easter. Woo! Number 4, Christmas. Saturnalia in disguise. Christmas, supposedly the birth of Jesus, has no biblical foundation. Jesus was not born in December. The Bible hints at his birth occurring in warmer months. I heard April. I heard September. I don't know. December 25th, chosen to coincide with Saturnalia, a Roman festival dedicated to the god Saturn, filled with drunkenness, gambling, and gift giving. Well, the way we celebrate it, that's what it is. Drunkenness, gambling, and gift giving. The Christmas tree, mistletoe, and Yule log all have pagan origins. I was going to say oranges. I'm orange. I want one there, right? After the show. And Santa Claus is derived from Odin, the Norse god of war and death. In short, Christmas is a stolen holiday with pagan and occult influences. Really, drunkenness, gambling, and gift giving. Drunkenness, gambling, and gift giving. Oh, correction. No, we don't want to do that. What did I just do? Okay, you heard the music right for a second. Sweet D, Reese, Landon Price, Renee Green, of course, Wilson, Broderick, welcome. Yes, let me make a little adjustment that I forgot to do in the back end of the site so things work smooth with this show. It's just going to take like 5 more seconds. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Come on, come on. Stop buffering. Don't play with me. Don't you play with me. Okay, there it is. Okay, is it good? Okay, it's good. We'll leave it. Okay, let's get on back to what I was saying. That gambling, gambling, drunkenness, and lust, and all these different things, right? Giving. But what do we do in let's talk about the black neighborhood around Christmas. The liquor stores open late. Because even if you don't drink all year or drink a lot, now you know the alcohol is there, right? And they know what time it closes. We don't know who don't drink. So they stay open late. The gift giving, ridiculous. The malls stay open late because they know we're going to bring our black money to them shops. They ain't much your money. Your money is green and it spends. Your Visa card, your debit card, your MasterCard, whatever credit card you have, they won't smiling. They don't like you, but they smiling because you're going to bring them the money freely. They don't look at us as disciplined people. And yes, there are many other people who are not focused on them, but every single year, no matter what, you can have a refrigerator not full of food, but no food at all. Just a slab of Ronald Reagan government cheese. But you're going to make sure to figure out how to buy a gift, how to buy Christmas to make your children happy. And you train them that way. Mom, I'm going to get Christmas. I want to go to school and tell my classmates I get no Christmas. So you better teach them from young. And if you give a gift, let it be all year on different dates. Why not the gift of a daggone book? I'm not saying just for around the Christmas time. I know it could be seductive. And I know it could be cruel to most children who are seeing they don't understand, but you have to make them understand and raise them up proper. That whatever you spend on Christmas, we're going to make a bank account. I'm going to put twice the money in the bank account for you, but you can't touch it, but it's going to be there for you. Teach them how to save. Teach them how to visualize a different reality. It is not just about material items, but the drunkenness and the crazy celebrations, which means the sex. Because there's another side of Christmas after dark. Hopefully it's the dark and not all out in the daylight, in the middle of the street by the double line with the news cameras rolling in rush hour traffic. Everybody just says, oh my God, what freaks. But we lie. And we figure that, well, I worked hard all year. It is Christmas. And you wearing yourself down even more late in the malls, picking out, well, I got to get Christmas for this one. And you got stuff and the bills don't stop. And you mean in less than a week, you got another cycle of bills coming? And you start the new year off broke and more debt? And then people who don't like you, we gonna make it rain now. They bringing us the money. And you wonder why you can't get ahead. I'm not speaking to anybody specific. I'm speaking in general. If it applies to you, you know it's the truth. If not, I don't play none of that game. I don't do it. I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? And anything I receive as goes right back into the righteous work that I'm going to do. Because y'all know the time that I've spent doing what I do over the last 24 years. So I just, give me this and give me that and go run off and take trips and put rims on cars, whatever. Don't do that. I don't care about that. I love what I do. I love my people. But I'm not going to take mess from all of them. I love some of my people. I ain't wasting time with some of y'all. Seriously. I don't mean anybody here. That's why I move the way I do. I flow the way that, it comes from within. I'm not chasing anything. You don't do that in the social media game. You'll burn yourself out. I want to go another quarter century at my pace, but always to speak some kind of truth, not mad at somebody else because they're doing well or look at them all day doing. Look, what would you rather have me do? I'm retired. I worked all my life. I ain't gonna do this no more. I'm gonna sit back and just drink and eat food and pork. And did you hear about Lancescurv? He put us no more, man. He stopped doing what he's doing, but he started taking up them habits. Or walk around peeping at people, hating on them. I'm moving too much with momentum. I'm built for this. I'm made for this. That's why it's so easy for me. Earlier today, I did some different things. I said, I'm going to go on later and do a show. Now I'm looking at the time. I'm not rushing. For me, it's 10:13. I know at 12:30, I have the show with Brother Malik Aziz. I may not do the show in between then, but I tell you one thing, the one I had planned to go in between after this one and before that one, I'll do it as soon as I wake up. Bling! Only thing I do is go in the pineapple, cut it up, eat it, go, shower up, shave, whatever. Boom, and I'm there. And then I'll start my day, and I'll do stuff later on. With Metamorphosis, Neil Frazier. That's my schedule. But people, you can spend your time the way you want, but don't lie to yourself. It's a holy holiday. It's the birthday of Christ. No, it ain't. Who knows, really? Who knows the exact day and the place? I've seen some good educational documentaries that explain this and that. Fine. But why argue over that? And if you don't believe in Christianity or into Islam, Buddhism, whatever, the whole tenets of being Christ-like is a righteous thing, right? We forget. We focus over all. Yeah, I know it's a big behind towel. I love it. I sweat a lot because I drink a lot. Always got something to sip close by. I drink big all the time, and that's lemon water. There ain't no vodka, right? Let's not get that twisted. Some people drink more vodka than lemon water. I'm like, man, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. How can you put that poison in your system? So their brains ain't working right. Again, us removed from our origins and culture, we have messed ourselves up. We are way off. Way off. Let's go see what's next up on this list. And I wrote it, right? No. Woo! Number 5, Thanksgiving. Celebrating genocide. Ooh, I'm going to make a t-shirt out of that tonight. Thanksgiving, celebrating genocide. While Thanksgiving is promoted a time of gratitude, its real history is one of massacre and colonial domination. The first Thanksgiving was held in 1637 after European settlers slaughtered Native Americans, men, women, and children, and declared it a day of Thanksgiving to celebrate their victory. Victory, y'all. For Native Americans, Thanksgiving is a national day of mourning because it marks the beginning of European land theft, betrayal, and genocide. Black people who share a history of oppression of the same colonial system should not be celebrating this blood-soaked holiday. Land theft, y'all. Wow. And they legitimize this thing, and they twist it around in history, and they make you feel as though this is something good. I'm just glad that people have sense now to say it's a day of the slaughter, and you're celebrating this. Look, I'm gonna say something harsh. I don't mean it to be harsh. Imagine somebody came in your house when you were young. If you had your parents or whoever took care of you and raised you who you cared for. They came in your house, threw you out the house. You bust your face all on the door. You fall out middle of the night, pajamas ripping, crotch open, just elbows all bruised up, and you're in shock, like, what's going on? And they go and shoot your parents. And that's on a particular day. Like today is what? February 16th. Yeah, February 16th. Say that happened on the February 16th. So every February 16th, you're gonna celebrate the slaughter of your people and getting thrown out of your house, nowhere to go, no food, your young people taking care of you, your folks taking care of you, and you got to go out there and fend for yourself, homeless, and the whole world celebrating it, and you, yeah, I'm gonna celebrate it too. No, that's mental sickness. I'm gonna celebrate my retaliation because it's a natural law that you can defend yourself. It's a natural law. That's why these demons out here and these demon-possessed people, no matter what the color they are, because they can look just like you. I'm finding more people who look like me, read between the lines, who are just as demon-possessed as the demons that his store raped and robbed and stole all over the planet wherever they went. They just as crazy. But if you look in nature, because I always refer to nature, nature's the biggest university. Just to sit there, just look at bugs, look at frogs, look at birds, look at the berries growing, look how the trees do. The wind goes through and it rains and feeds the soul of life. You can get deep. When you get in nature, it enhances your spirituality. Even if it's not about the book or the Bible. Yeah, okay, that will kind of, but when you truly absorb nature, things open up inside of you and you can see things long before, right? But this whole thing has us all messed up that we would celebrate a day like that. Really and truly, it's sick. We've gotten away from what we need to be doing. We've gotten away from nature. Number one, if we got back in nature, a lot of us, I feel, they have these conditions that they manufacture and call names. But look at the conditions that we live under. Let's just take where I grew up, New York City. It could be Chicago, it could be Miami, it could be St. Louis, it could be Detroit, it could be certain parts of Los Angeles, Dallas, Houston, wherever. Look at the conditions, how we're packed up. And even up more, because down south there's more heat, but the conditions are still there. We get up in the morning, we rush out of the house. We don't even worry about eating. Oh, I'm late, I gotta get ready to work. Some of the women, they worry more about their makeup and their hair, and they're not even putting nothing good in their stomach. You get up stressed. First thing you do is look at the clock. Oh, I got so much time. You're in traffic or in the public transportation. And you're sitting there, oh, I'm gonna be late. You're stressed. You grab a donut, you grab a soda, you grab a coffee and dump all the sugar in it. You didn't wake up. You didn't sleep until you wake up. The natural way. You didn't go out and go pick some fruits or take time and be still. Wake up until you're all the way awakened. Be quiet. Take your time. And if you need to lay down, and see, we can't afford to do that. You can go back and lay down until you wake up all the way. You got to be at the job to get that paper that has no power, only what you say the power it has. But you're giving your life force to a system that will never appreciate you. Giving you back paper. And because the world says the paper's worth something, you take the paper, whether it goes into your bank and credit cards or debit cards, now you can buy things. Can you buy health? If you could proactively buy health, could you do that? We wouldn't even do that. We'd buy things. And then when the health goes bad, we got to take the same money that we broke ourselves down to get to go pay for the damage that was done. How is that? Straight stupid. Then I don't want it. No. Well, if you stay till working till 70 years old, you'll get more paper. I don't want it. I'll take less and live like I'm living now. I have less. There's some ways I have more, but I got more of this. Peace of mind. I sleep till I wake up. I'm not in that place that's driving people crazy, where they have to take medications now. See, get these nervous tics. They got these addictions to offset the stress they're feeling. I got friends of mine got some serious addictions. Not my core friends who are living balanced. There's some secondary people that I know that have some serious issues because of the artificial living conditions that they're in, which you say will have nothing to do with the holidays. But that helps, because now this is something you're putting up as an idol. We got to get money for this. So we got to work harder. To hell with all of that. Like I said, do you know what the hell you're celebrating? You see your children vaguely because they got to go to the daycare, you got to go to the job. You can't even celebrate them and look at them and spend time with them all you want. Somebody else is raising your children. God knows who they are. Well, they have a clean record. Lots of them didn't get caught yet. Think about that. The pedos. The spirits that some of these have that rub off on your child, and your child says something wayward, and you're like, where'd you get that from? Because they heard that before. Like Elon Musk's son, when Elon Musk was speaking about how they're slashing the expenditures and the son said to the president, oh, F you, or something like that. F you, you ain't the president. Because he heard that from his father. He's there with Trump, but the father must be saying, I'm really running this country. And Trump got the little subservient body language saying, okay, yeah, you go run things. I'm not tough right now. Elon Musk is standing up. See what I mean? You gotta read between the lines. But what do we idolize? Most of the stuff that we idolize takes us away from nature. The nature that's free, the nature that's life-giving, the nature that will never stop giving. It's unconditional, right? Let's go on to the next one. I went off when I talked about Thanksgiving, it just went off. But if we would go back to nature, we would be taking less pills. If we learn to live less of what intoxicates us, gotta get that brand new car. Well, you bought this other one 2 years ago. Well, man, that's a bad car. It's gonna keep you on the wheel. I personally, and look, before I even go back, I took my face off so I can read off my notes. Before, for me, the next car I buy, not to sound gory, I'm going to treat it like the last car I'll ever own. And it's 62 this April. If I keep it for 25 years, I mean that. It's not a status symbol for me. That means I'll be 87. I turn 62 in April. So counting from then, I'm not going to get nothing to the end of the year anyway. It's not on my budget. I don't need it. Cheaper for me to get around all the other ways. And I'm laughing. Got no repairs, got no insurance, got no dings and dents and repairs. Who knows if I ever get something. I'd rather come home to a beautiful home. Right? But I'm going to keep it like the last one I'm ever going to have, because there's going to come a certain point in your life where the car that you have is going to be the last one. You may have plans. I'm going to go get this one. Right? You may not be around tomorrow. I think with the end in mind and try to enjoy everything in between whenever that time comes, which every day for me is a chance to create, to vibe, to talk, to exude, to ascend. And when it's time to go to sleep, baby, I'm you know, you lay in the bed and you hear a motorcycle go by, I'm zooming. My dreams are cinematic, Dolby surround sound. And when I'm up in the day full throttle, that's why I was telling Miss Scurv a little earlier. My friends, not the inner circle, but the ones that they know. You have friends that you're not really friends with their friends, but you're cool with them and you kind of hang with them, you get along with them. After a while, they would go to them and say, listen, your friend Lance, is he sniffing something? No, you sure about that? We hung out from late morning, all afternoon, into the evening, into the night, home till the morning, and that joker talking about he going to the gym. He gotta be smoking something. No, that's just the way I am. I don't see the boundaries that people see. For one, I don't see my life as ending at this whatever time. I'm moving closer to being out of my body. I know that. I'm not dumb. But I don't see that as the end. So we don't see it. Imagine you in a car or motorcycle and there's a brick wall in front of you, maybe a mile on the road. You start seeing the brick wall, I better slow down. No, the energy flows and I'm enjoying it. Comes up. I'm not going to sit here, well, I don't know if I can go out and do that because, you know, somebody got shot down in that street the other day, or there was a car accident in that intersection, but to go around, don't go around the street. So get out of here. No. Let them people live like that. The people who have all these limitations set, right? Can't do this, can't do that. You do self and let me go ahead and do. And on another note, which has nothing to do with the show, I don't like people to try to pull me into their limitations. I'm like a bird. Fine, you can do every day repetitions of the same old jokes, the same old stuff, whatever. I can get down sometime like that, but when I want to move, I move. Another friend was telling me, like, yeah, you hang out on 11, 12 o'clock at night, and then you talk about you're gonna hop on the train and go to Manhattan because you know we lived in Queens. Where are you going 12 midnight, man? You going to some girl's house? That might have been it too. But most of the time I'm going to the city, take the A and all the way through Brooklyn into Manhattan to 42nd Street to go to the newsstand to get magazines to read. That's me. That's how I was raised. And I always drop a little bit of that in each show. Different. We celebrate being different. But some of us don't even have the balls to even try to explore our differences and how unique we are. I love being me. I'm not stuck on me. But I love, look, I do it, I'm the same way. Yeah, I have no regrets. Oh, if my nose was a little more and my eyes were a little more. No, I love being me. My experiences have a lot to talk about because I'm in the moment. I'm talking to you right now. I'm in the moment right now. I'm not, well, 10 years ago, unless I'm telling a story. Or, well, I make projections. I have goals. That's why right. But 85% of you has to be in that moment executing what needs to be done to make the future happen. I can't say statistics and let's write this plan and do this plan. What about making it happen now? The whole concept of my yellow stripes behind me, you saw the old change the yellow to hundreds of miles away. Here you go. Come on. There you go. Right. The original yellow stripes. And that was a 12 by 12 foot tiny behind me, 15. The same table I'm on now. I can put all the leaves in the table. This is a big behind dining room table that I'm on. I do have another one that's a workstation that elevates up and down. Remember that glass there? I can do artwork on next to the window. Oh man. But it's the concept. So now to the point people in the street, man, I'm driving down the street, Scurv, man. I wasn't thinking about you, man. But I still has this. It's marketing. That's what it is. So here I am now, hundreds of miles away in another country. In the present day, we still have good time. Let me, I'm talking anyway. Let's hook that up over here. Let me just acknowledge the chat room. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Sweetberry, I see you popped on in. Thank you so much here. So I think I acknowledged. Let me bring it back on over there. Yeah, just freestyle it. Be yourself. Number 6. The 4th of July. Freedom for who? While white Americans celebrate their independence from Britain, Black people were still enslaved in 1776. The Declaration of Independence spoke of freedom. It applied to enslaved Africans who were considered property, not people. I know some of them hate to hear that. Frederick Douglass famously asked, "What to the slaves the 4th of July?" It was never a day of freedom for Black people. And that's all I had to jot down for that. So here we go now. I'm not saying that we have to always define a lie by what to us. We should never forget. We should never forget. And move beyond that. And don't let them have power over what was done to us. Like giving them power and no, we pose them now. Kendrick Lamar did what he did at the Super Bowl halftime and turned it into a revolution with the symbolism, and there's layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of that people taught us this. So much symbolism. And it doesn't have to be symbolism. It could be us talking about it, our lives. But instead of being stuck in the past and just dealing, it still affects us. What about projecting for the future? Right? The analogy I always use, you have a big skyscraper, like the World Trade Center. I don't know what it is. It was 110. So I'm from New York City, and 102 is for what? Statue of Liberty. I've been out of this place too long. 110 stories, World Trade Center, right? And so now you might have a building. It's 20. The World Trade Center went down, down, down. I mean, I remember it. I mean, I used to go there all the time. You had restaurants, bookstores. You had the PATH train going under there, the IRT, the Intercontinental Railroad, Metro North. My cousin was a captain for the Metro North Police Department. You know, well, that's another story I gotta tell you all about. And that's a story. I have that on Lancescurv.substack, and I have it as a put that on the pay side. It's some personal stuff, but we're gonna go deep about the mentality of people. I hope he's alive, but anyway, remember that. So you have this 110 building, 20 stories, and you say, man, look at that building. It dwarfs that one. The 20 stories is less than 110. There's 90 stories difference, right? But what happens when you go deep below the surface? Let's just say it ended right there on the ground. Building could build that sky fall over. Let's just say that and use our thinking caps and imagination. 20 stories and 110. The 110 starts at ground level. It looks down at the one that's story. Both. What if we can dig deeper and find out that the 20 stories was not just 20 stories. It was 200 stories to the ground. Level playing field. And put that 20-story building, which is really 220 stories, and people thought it was less because it didn't see what was below the surface, and put it into Trade Center twice that. 220 stories compared to 110, but you didn't know it. What about us? What about our hidden potential? What about see the greatness that we don't cultivate because we don't believe they're there? See, I know mine are there. I got things set up, not just to create. This is all time. Most of my time is zoop, reading, writing, drawing, thinking. I just go out. Look, I was out on the balcony about maybe 2 hours ago. I was asleep out. I'm looking up at the sky. The wind is blowing nice, looking over the other side of the mountain. And I said, okay, let me clear my mind. Let me just clear my mind. Just relax. I almost fell asleep out there. I catch myself. And at times when there's no show and I go out there, sometimes I go out there and have nothing planned and something comes to me and I freestyle. Those days are here right now. Just like the stripes behind me. This ain't a fake green background, real. And a lot of people are pissed off. It's a different story. We ain't focusing on that. See, sometime you'll be snuffed in the eyes of others and oh yeah, we got rid. You should have put that final bullet in me. As long as I'm alive, we're going to always ascend. You might get knocked down for a little while, but now you're not the hand around you. Moving forward is a victory in itself. And I know that. That's what's so funny about it. And get the to know B, but keep your head right and stop following behind these people, these holidays. And it's just like when I used to work at Home Depot. That's a serious, I got my name, but we just talking. I used to work at Home Depot. And I used to work at the one after in Long Island City, but the first one I worked on was the first one ever in the city. They were setting it up from 93, but 94 in January. And that was on Rockaway Boulevard, South Ozone Park Branch. That's history. You can look it up. And because that was the first one in New York City, I mean, all the country was already out of the South. Everybody came there from Brooklyn, from Bronx. And, you know, they made one in Brooklyn eventually, Bronx, and everywhere else, and it kind of evened out. But that first one attracted business from all over. I remember when the store would have their meetings before they opened up, because it wasn't a 24-hour store like eventually other ones were. I don't know what it is now there. Maybe it is. I don't know. But they would get up and say, you know, pushing. We got the Home Depot stock is about to split again. And this week in the store alone, we made $2 million. And the people hungry for the raise, they didn't pay, not that good. Oh my God, we made $2 million. No. And I would always say, I didn't make no $2 million. I got a % raise on this evaluation. And my back hurting more than anybody else, while these other pseudo managers that were on my level, but well, I'll hold the paper and I'll divvy this out and say, hey, we're going to take turns, open that, hold it up and down. Had me singing Negro spirituals up in here like I'm some slave, right? I'm going to applaud for somebody making that amount of money, and you can't cut a brother more and all the people get more. It's $100 an hour. You can do that. There'd be more pride in the job, but you're going to give us a little 25, 30 cent, 10 cent, 15 cent raise. Well, you give us a quarter, and the benefits to pay for them went up 50 cents. And half the stuff that needs to be covered doesn't. That's the American way. Yes, we made. And so stop fronting. Thanksgiving, yes, it's a time we got our freedom. Well, ask your great, whatever, to go back in that time, how they felt during that time. Thanksgiving. You go steal something, come and kill people. Yeah, I said it again. I don't even care right now. You snuff people, take their land. Not only that, did you see the American women out here? I know you saw the sisters that were brought over from Africa. Could you imagine? They never saw nothing like that. But pancake, oh man. That's why there's a lot of mixtures out here. You raping and you robbing and you castrating black men, penis envy, and you just their strength and working for more than a king, their objects and property. And we got to give thanks for that? No more. Maybe you think, never. I'm all up to when the time comes around. Even though I'm in Africa right now, go back to Africa. I'm here, but when I see you over here, go back to America. Go back to the UK. Stop coming over here and trying to get this good. Like we know now, it's no shock now. That's why I love Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso. He's doing the damn thing. He's their nightmare. You'll know good things that are over here in the Western media. That's why I'm going to run my mouth and tell it. Like even here, even YouTube. This particular new channel is not shadow banned the way it was before. It's back. Yeah. Have Lancescurv.substack.com. Go there. That's going to be the new Lancescurv.com in a couple days. I just use YouTube to bring the people on over there. Sometimes by email, everything we do goes into your email. We don't have to decide on people. Oh, hold the stuff back. Let the notifications come out 2 days after the show is up. Maybe that's why I'm even having a good time over here. I'm not worried about the stats. Did that so many? I only got 34. I don't care about hits. I know it's getting hit. But there's no Thanksgiving over here for these people. No way. Let's go on to the next one. I know I'm ranting and going crazy. Let me see here. Boom. Show this. All right. Where am I now? Here. Okay. Halloween, a celebration of the dead and occultism. And we got some serious names up on this one. Halloween is rooted in Samhain, an ancient Celtic festival where people believed the veil between the living and the dead was thinnest. It was a time of spirit conjuring, human and animal sacrifice, and devilish rituals. The modern traditions of dressing up and trick or treating come from these pagan customs. Today, it is one of the most occultic celebrations in the world. Yet millions of people, including Black families, participate without knowing its sinister roots. Now, I say for each of these holidays, sprinkled out around the time of that holiday, I'll do a whole show in detail on that holiday, because that was what I said about Halloween just now. Just touching on things. But as the year goes by, I'm gonna research and go deeper, real deep. So 2-3 hours show on one holiday. We're gonna bring people in who know what they're talking about. I'm gonna make a little presentation. We're gonna do it just like that, right? We go on back to the next one now. Number 8, April Fool's Day, the day of deception. April Fool's Day has ties to the oppression of those who resisted the shift to the Gregorian calendar in the 1500s. Those who continued celebrating the new year in spring instead of January 1st were mocked as April Fools. Beyond that, the holiday celebrates deception, trickery, manipulation, things that have historically been used against Black people, right? Next, since that was short, Labor Day, the forgotten Black contribution. While Labor Day is seen as a holiday honoring workers, the truth is that Black enslaved people built America with their labor for free. The labor rights movement that led to Labor Day often excluded Black workers who continued to face discrimination even after slavery, and that's a fact. Oh, slavery's over. Why do you just keep bringing it? I didn't do anything. Well, you're benefiting from it now. Let me just run through the next one and the rest of everything. I got to watch my time. Maybe I will do another one. I'm not sure because it kind of went on, but the one I want to do tonight will come back. Maybe I'll squeeze it in. I'll see how I feel. Go drink a little water and come on back. But the last one, number 10, Mother's Day and Father's Day, commercialized deception. The Bible states, "Thy father and thy mother," meaning this should be a daily practice, not a holiday pushed by corporations. These holidays are heavily commercialized, with billions being spent on cards and gifts, feeding into consumer culture rather than genuine respect. You know how many mothers I've seen cursed out by their daughters? Cursed out. You know, I used to drive the bus in Orlando, Florida. I'm in New York and lived most of my life in New York City, but down there, and this goes on all over the country, not just Orlando, Florida, but I would hear daughters cussing their mothers out, then turn around and want to give them a card on Mother's Day. What kind of mess is that? You can't, and with fathers too, you know, disrespect on the fathers. And some of you, oh, the fathers ain't no good. Whatever. No, but just like respect anyway, you have to do that. Regardless of if your mother was a crackhead, if your father was a drug dealer, whatever. That's some of the hardest things to do, but you still have to honor them, right? Holidays are not just days on a calendar. They shape beliefs, culture, and consciousness. These celebrations were designed to manipulate, control, and deceive people, especially Black communities. Instead of following these Eurocentric and pagan traditions, Black people should reclaim their own ancestral heritage and build traditions that uplift and empower their communities. Should we celebrate or continue to celebrate these holidays, or is it time for something new? I think it's time for something new, rooted in tradition. I think it's time. They're taking away Black History Month. So what? I celebrate Black History every day. I'm not going to celebrate who I am and my root. Can you tell them small hats don't celebrate the fake thing that you have? Because that's what it is. Same way. Come into somebody's house. You sleep on the couch. They let you come in there for 2 weeks. You get on your feet. 2 months later, you're still there complaining the cable bill is not paid and there's not enough gas in the car. And you eating down what are we going to eat tonight? How are you going to come to somebody else's house and take over like that? You take it from the people, they fighting you, and you act like they fighting you for your land. I don't understand it, how this world works. That's why I'm glad that a lot of folks over here on the continent, I'm really, there's a lot of things going on over here that need correction. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but the vibe with nature's perfect for me. 0 latitude, 0 longitude, 0, 0. I'm on the equator. Whoa, the sun, the vibration, the nature vibration, the pull and the push. It's like it's supercharged. Maybe I would be declining in America. Oh, I'm a little tired now. I can't do it. No, I feel good. It's very special to me. Let me go and drop this link. If anybody wants to come in and say anything, it's all that. Let's go to the comments section. Drop it on in. We got some serious comments up in here. See, I got this thing. I got to reposition everything because it's blocking the chat room for me. Did it go in? Yeah, it went in. It went in. Thank you, Sweet Berry. She said, excellent point. That's in the chat room. Click that if you want to come in and say something. If not, it's cool. I'm not mad. I'll be back. Be back at 7:30 Eastern time. That is a little over an hour and a half. I might be squeezed. I might come back and surprise you. I'm not sure. If you're coming, come on in now. If not, be down in a second. I got a long night. And the dialogue, the transcript, my notes, whatever you want to call it, will be on Substack shortly after, maybe immediately after. Click, I got to set up already. I have another article I want to put out. I want to set up that other show. Maybe I'll do it after Malik. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it in the morning. All depends how I feel, but it's just rapid fire. One after the other. One after the other. I'm not going to go against my body for time to push. It's just more tomorrow. Because we have Neil Frazier. And if I do that show tonight, I'm still doing another one early, right? And I love being 5 hours ahead because if I do something at 12 noon or 7 o'clock on the East, if I do something 3 o'clock with the 5 hour difference, it's 10 in the morning. So it works out fine. I can sleep late and still get up and do a morning show for the East Coast. Deanna Williams. Yes. Yes. Let me see if I can put this up. This thing is acting funny. I clicked the button and whatever. Yes, Deanna Williams. Yes. I'm not really going to say Happy Valentine's after what I spoke about, right? Yeah. You're right, Charles Wilson. Always brilliant stuff that you share, just like everybody else. I love the intelligence here, and I learned so much from many of you here. You send me things in the email, you give me little comments on the WhatsApp, whatever have you, and I learned, so I can't act like I'm some scholar. I'm just a person who likes to research and spit out what's there, and maybe everybody here already knows what I shared, but there's somebody out there that caught it. You know what I mean? So we got to keep on some time repackaging and throwing things out a certain way, different way, and if you know it, hey, roll with it, They all hell days. It's a celebration of Satan and his family. It's worldwide, and it's everything and every. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this much. I'm gonna wrap it up after this, right? We've been on for an hour and 20 minutes. The secret handshake groups, y'all, taking over here. I know, and I don't know. I'm here now. But I'm like this. Roboto. Roboto. I want to do what I do, live, deal with the sun, deal with the earth. See you. Hi, how are you? keep it moving. But so many people in this world that are looking for something outside of themselves as though they feel they're inadequate. Like they have to get to this status. They have to get, there's something outside of them that they have to reach for. I never really thought that way. I'm not trying to pump myself up and I was always above that. The times that I ran the race a little bit and just said, no, y'all go ahead. I did bodybuilding for many, many years. 13 years old, unofficially, playing around, 14, playing around. Took it more serious at 15. Started competing in contests at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22. I was like, nah. I see what this is. The drugs that people want you to use, the homosexuality that judges and certain people in high places want you to indulge in to secure a win, the crazy eating habits that even when you're natural and not taking drugs can still damage your body. That's not for me. I'm happy with myself. Even though I have body image issues, people say, man, you look, how you train? How do you get to look like that? I'm like what? I don't look like I used to, so I'm messed up. Like I said before, I'm so messed up. If I'm in the bedroom with Mr. Scurv, I don't mean nothing intimate. I'm just saying we just in the bedroom, right? Or anywhere. I say, here's, I bought a shirt for you, Lance, try it on. I'll leave the room and take my shirt off, try it on. She's like, I'm your wife. I know what you look like. Why are you? I said, I just feel funny that way. Because I don't look the way I used to. So I feel like I'm some big fat slob, soft, whatever. I'm still strong as hell, but right? So these things that we indulge in the world can make us, so we have to detox from these things. Like the man who may have had $2 billion and the stock market crashes and he loses $500 million. He loses 500,000. Oh my God. And he kills himself. He left $1.5 billion behind. Let me get 10,000 right now. I'm a happy camper because I know what to do with it. But I'm not worshiping it and making it my God and giving it life force. No. I could be pushing hard with a lot of things in the name of money. I can give all this up. And God knows I ain't making the money doing this. No, my name is in somebody's box or some list or something. You know what I mean? But that doesn't bother me. Because I'm content where I am and I know it from the inside, not some fake status on the outside. Pretending and yes, and grinning and bearing it, but pretending. No, I don't care about that. I'm me. I'm not trying to talk. Look, I can get up on a podium and talk just as brilliant, but I'm home, y'all. I got some shorts on, I got a t-shirt, my feet are out. I can walk around barefoot outside, my feet are due. You see my feet. The tiles feel good under my feet. I'm home, I'm safe. I got my lemon water, got some fruits back there. What more? Do you see the animals out there trying to out-status each other? Well, I have certain colorings on my wings and I'm better than you. And that's our problem. We're seeking to impress other people. We're seeking to outdo what we think other people are. And the ones we worship, I'm not saying you all worship anybody, but there's some people, celebrities so-called, a pastor or some neighbor, and you don't know behind closed doors how they feel about themselves. They may be projecting something that doesn't exist, and you accept it because of the insecurities that you have, because you didn't fill in those little holes and those little voids and come to some sense to know that you have it all on the inside and you're just as brilliant as the next person. So I have to try no more. Never did try. I did stuff from the inside, but I'm just saying that's the mentality we should have. If you were like that, that you ain't trying no more. Try for what? What are you going to get at the point of transition? Where we're going to gift your $1 million because you tried. No, I mean, I'm going to try on the things and actually do the things that are in me to do. But I got to become this president. I got to become this mayor. I got to be this pastor. I got to be whatever. I don't have to be nothing to do what it is that I have to do. I just need the knowledge. That's all you need. In the Western system, right here, you need a degree for certain things. Do you know how much I've learned? As quiet as it is. I'm hearing crickets right now, 24/7, quiet. When I go out on my balcony and I just look out, oh, it's quiet. So when I read something, it sinks in. It sinks in deep. I've learned so much. There's a piece of equipment here that I had for the last, how many years? What is 2000? Let me unbuckle this and hold this up. It still got dust on it. I didn't learn how to use this. I realized I had everything this here. Simple as it is. It still got dust. And in between the numbers, it got dust. So I got to go in between whatever, right? It's a very important piece of equipment. And when I was working back in the day, I spent, I think, $700 on this. This thing does some fabulous stuff. I worked and got it and didn't know how to incorporate it. It had instructions, but it was just too deep. And I had somebody explain it to me. And I was like, that's simple. So even after this show, before Malik, I might play around with that. And if I'm up, I'll do the show after. But it's going to be good because it's going to be on the legacy of Khalid Abdul Muhammad. And maybe he'll admit it or not, but he used to bodyguard him. So Malik is not just a yap. He's the real thing. He is part of history, the things that he's done. He'll speak about some of the things, but in my private conversations with him, I'm like, man, these people that you know, I was introduced to a revolutionary brother from the Black Panthers out here, the Ruba Ben Wahad, who lives out here. He travels frequently back and forth to America, but I'm looking forward to having him here. There's other projects that are going on that I don't want to jump in the way of with people in my circle that will deal with him. So I'm not going to push that as much right now. I'm going to wait till that project is done, maybe a year or so, I'm not sure. But out of respect, you know what I mean? And then when that is done, to be put out there in a very big way, like, yo, there's things I know that's coming, y'all don't realize. There's some people out here who are so dynamic, so great in their pursuits. And those are the people we have to support. We're going to maintain our history, who will go and document certain things and talk to the people, because these people are getting up in years. And a lot of us don't even know who they are. They're there. And they have so much history. We can't celebrate that. We got to wait until it goes through Channel 13, PBS, or some white man go out and, oh, yes, CV. No, us. And let them talk freely. So he lives in Ghana. When that other thing is done, through my inner circle, family, he gonna come here. We're gonna light it up. Because when he speaks, ooh, Brother Malik Aziz honors him. So you know the brother got to be bad, because Brother Malik is a bad mamma jamma. I'm talking slang now. I'm not disgracing him. So I want to reach out to a lot of these people too. If you know anybody who, they don't have to have had like this big position or whatever. They could be somebody who probably only has a third education, but they experience things or they have something to share. If you know them, send them my way. You might have to sit with them if they don't know how to operate the technology of a phone. Do me that favor. And it's not just me, it's for all of us. People say puff, puff, pass when they're smoking a joint. Well, let's absorb, and pass the knowledge that the person has, that they have for us, that will be forgotten. It doesn't have to be some big monumental anything. It could be somebody local. Let them come on in and connect with me and name drop what happened in the neighborhood, because things of us are being removed. And we have to tell our story. Being removed. Move this, forget about that. whatever. In a lot of our history, we don't even know. And it's our responsibility. But we're holding to take away Black History Month, please. Every day. And know that you all are historical also. It's not something where we sit back and, oh, I'm just nothing. Now, we're not supposed to become megalomaniacs or this narcissistic whatever, because we're all servants. We're all gears in that complex machinery of us, but we all have a role. Like I always like to say, you see the pretty watch and the second hand, the minute hand, the hour hand. Man, that's a pretty watch. Look at the gold. Look how the numbers are written, whatever. But all them gears that you don't see, that's that watch move in a precise way. See what I mean? And we are those gears. And some gears are bigger than others. Some of us speak in front of, on the podium. Some of us clean the toilets. But we hear in the speech too. Whatever position you hold, be proud of who you are. Whether your name goes down in history and acknowledged by, but you have a part of it. An old Jamaican lady lived on my block. She was part of the whole Marcus Garvey thing and brought across the street to me the actual documents in plastic. And she was up there. I was just back in the 70s. And she told me all of this history that I didn't even retain because I was younger. I absorbed a lot of it. I couldn't hold all of it. And she was in a tizzy. And I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to go after this. What time is it? It's 11:03. Okay, I'm not going to do that show tomorrow or later on tonight. But my voice, I got to be on that one. We're coming right back on. But they say before a person passes away, and speaking to many nurses that I know, that you could have a person who's almost like in a declining position. They might be bedridden or might not be walking a lot or in a wheelchair. And then one day you see them walking. And they're like bright and like they're coming back. And they die the next day. It's almost like a light bulb. You know when a light bulb is about to blow out? It just supernovas and gets real bright, right? So this woman, I got to say, our families were intertwined back to the 1870s in Jamaica, where my father knew the grandfather of the brother Devin, who passed away. We used to train together. He was a captain in Rikers Island. But before that, my father knew his grandfather, because see, my father was a little older than most fathers, so a lot of times, is that your grandfather? That's your father. Like, that's my father. And when they saw each other, you know, they automatically knew. My father used to protect him because he was a little guy, and he would help my father with the homework. My father had all the girlfriends and all this stuff, whatever. Anyway, going back before that, the families were intertwined, and they went to the same church back in the 1870s, back in Jamaica, in St. Anne's, Brownstown. And that's something. So she was telling me this thing with passion. And why I said the thing about the light bulb before it blows out, she was she always sit on the front steps, so she was kind of like, you know, less and less energy. And I'm going to play this song after, and I'm probably going to play it and cry, because she gave me something that night special. She brought the documents over and showed me, and she didn't always take them out. She took them out, and they were in great shape, but some of them really yellowed. And she pointed and looked. The signet showed me stitches and back in so many decades before, but she was up there in years. And then she was telling me what my mission was. Whatever you do, never forget who you are and where you came from, and make sure to maintain the culture and the history, because they're trying to take it away from us. She knew that back then, before there was an internet. You see what I mean? She had foresight, because she saw what they did to Marcus Garvey in defaming and trying to disgrace him. As powerful as he was, without the internet, a great percentage of the United States and all of us were down with that, with no email. In that time when they were lynching and killing us. See, we forget this. We can hit a button and think we're some revolutionary. Some guy called me revolutionary. I said, don't call me that. That would mock all the people whose lives were threatened. These days on YouTube, these little people dress up like drag, like they're a man dressing up like a woman, and put their costume on and speak a certain way and try to, but you ain't doing nothing. It's the least I can do is talk about these things and things that I personally experienced. And so in a decent way, she's an older woman. She told me this stuff, and I had a stack of records that I was playing, and she was talking to my mother after she kind of finished, and she kept coming back to me talking. And there was a song, forgot who made it, the name, Misty Blue. My whole world turned misty blue. Oh, I can't forget you. Heaven knows I've tried. I don't know. Let me just Google this right now on the other computer. Let me see. The name is at the tip of my tongue because I'm going to tell you what happened. And I'm feeling emotional. It's Misty Blue. Dorothy Moore. I used to collect all the records. I used to love anything, black, R&B, soul from the 70s as a kid. 45 RPMs, used to go up there and pay it and get the record, get the wax. We had all kind of records. But after she showed me those papers, and she was talking to my mother, talking to my father, and we were surprised at how when she heard that song, I must have played about 6 or 7, asked me to play it, and I kept playing it. And the last time I danced, I didn't know how to dance like that. We weren't all up on each other. We just had our hands clasped, and she says, you're a king and you're a warrior and you're going to times, and this is how we should speak to our kids. You're going to go into a time where we need you. I remember back then, and you're going to be in the future, and I never want you to forget what I'm telling you. And you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have girlfriends. You're going to whatever, but always be this person. I was like, wow. My mother was in awe. My father was just watching, and she's telling me, no matter what I do for a living, no matter how rich or how poor I am, I'm one of those gears behind the faceplate of that brilliant watch of us, and that's what you are. We danced. She went home and she died. She died. I couldn't believe the ambulance just a couple hours after she was there. We see the ambulance across the street. What is the ambulance doing there? She died. And I cried because I wasn't dumb when I was young. She passed a baton to me. What are we doing to pass the baton on? It doesn't have to be an elaborate speech. It's to stay connected to the children that the government wants to pull us away from. To them. Let them know how great they are. No matter what the world calls them or the status that the world gives on them, whether the world calls them a peasant or nothing. This is why these little jive turkey YouTube punks and people who acted sincere with me when I helped them get on, little frauds, could never stop me because I'm not doing this for ego. Ain't no script over here in front of me. I jotted down my words for the holiday show. This ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm going to build something in a brand new home and have stripes behind me. For what? Is this a circus? This is part of my brand. So you say, oh, I remember that bald head guy that was sitting in front of them stripes years ago. Because I know marketing without going to school for it. I know artistic things. It's in me. I didn't have to get a degree for this. I didn't have to get a degree to, well, now you're a public speaker. And I'm not really, I've done things in colleges that I'm humble. I've done some things, y'all. Some things that are not even documented. I don't need any validation from the outside because I know what I have on the inside. I know what I have on the inside of me in the toolbox of me. And I ain't done yet. I'm not even halfway done. At this age, I'm going to be with them fiery old men. Let me live past 100 years, and I'm going to tell you some shit. Righteous shit. Excuse my French. Because slowly but surely, we don't realize we are becoming the ones who are history. This time now we're writing history. Your action or inaction is going to make the difference. So the hell, I'll say, with what they call Black History Month. We should have rejected that a long time ago. Well, the government said, the hell with you. We're doing what we want to do anyway. I'm going to celebrate. Out of respect to the family, I'm going to put the name out there. I don't think want that private. You know, she went, man, she told me, she gave me her last energy. That light bulb that was getting bright. She came across the street and gave me that. She saw something in me. And it's those things that I think about. That when people want to spread propaganda on you or lie and say, don't go around learn. You can't crush me. I got momentum coming back from hundreds of years. See, this is what people don't understand. And you do too. Tap into that. Get rid of the judgment. Thing must go toward the goal of ascending and ascending all of those around you. Like the break dancers from the late 70s and early 80s. Inside of me and a whole lot of other people, my father, my mother, just growing up in Harlem, Washington Heights, and eventually Queens was still connected to Harlem. Thing I saw, all of the people that I saw that fed into me, didn't know where it was going, but they fed into me. I honor all of them every single day. I have songs that remind me Michael Hamer, who we know so well. He transitioned. Whenever he would call me, I knew the importance of him, and I would get up. We'd go outside on the street just to make it ordinary. Brother, I don't care 5. I'm going to stand here with you and record every word. Brother Holler would call me, and we record stuff because I knew the importance of what was inside of others. There's some people that want to come on in and try to act a little Hollywood and cuss their words and try to go, hit my cash app. I got those things down below. People ask me, did you see me? We did this without that. The momentum we have is bigger than that. It's nice on a limited income, but it goes right into that to maintain what I'm doing. I even have a car. I gave away 95% of my clothes before we came out here. If you see my wardrobe now, you're like, oh my God. But it's going to be a whole new thing. But not because really and truly, if you get to a certain junction point in this life, you got to come correct now. You know, I make my pretty grassy Lancescurv and go up there, all this stuff. Yeah, I can do those things. It's nothing to do. I should be doing more, right? But if you get to this point and you're thinking about just the superficial, missed it. You missed it. So I'm going to go play Misty Blue a couple times. I'm going to cry some tears of appreciation. Because I forget anything that into me. I have drug addicts who didn't make it because of the issues they had in their life, but they had some seeds that they had over the young boy, some type of wisdom. Prostitutes, people that they call bums, people that are famous. Name drop, I can name drop. I can do that. I've been afforded to meet different people, so it's just like Super Mario. Do-doom, doom, do-doom, doom, and you get the power. You touch this one, you get stronger and stronger. I gotta stay connected to the source. If I stay connected to the source, I personally will never be defeated. But I can't do it. See what I mean? I have to realize my position on the playing field of life and in this revolution. Sometimes it comes in a comedic way to get the point in. Sometimes serious, I'm stupid and talk. I know what I'm doing. So Ali did the Ali shuffle, distracted the opponent, and he comes with it. I have to speak many languages. I only speak English, but I speak many, many languages. because of my experience. But I'm saying all this about me to just tell you to look back over your life and look how wonderfully made you are. Look at the crap you've had to go through, something still going through, and realize you're made by the best and you're made for greatness. You weren't made to be a failure. You shine. And every obstacle that comes at you is an invert compliment from the universe and from our creator, because he wouldn't throw anything on you that he didn't know you weren't able to do. Right? So you take that car on the track and you put the pedal to the metal and it surprises you. It shouldn't, because it was built for the speed, the durability, the strength and the longevity. On that note, I want to say I recorded something with Brother Sarge. He called me. I've been trying to reach him for the last year or two. I kept getting a fax machine. I was like, oh God, I hope nothing happened to him. He called me. Now, heard his voice at the electric. I said, man, so listen, we got to talk about what's going on in the world, because, you know, he's a political guy. He was in the military in Germany and police officer. He's a little older than me. Even he said he had to turn things. He said, say, don't let this world distract you from who you really are. Don't try to live down to a standard that they elevate. They are low. And many of us, I'm not saying anybody here, but we try to go down to that, look around and hope we're applauded. No, reject it. I'm not changing who I am for nobody. I'm not changing who I am for any trend, any algorithm, any whatever. You can give me one hit on this video, negative 250, don't care. Put out the energy. And also, I'm going to be the one to feed into those coming behind me, as I should and as we all should. That's the work. History Month that we on lots of times. So let it fall. And let's erect something stronger, that's intangible, that's not relegated to one of the shortest months. It's every single day. It's cultivating this inside of us. On that note, I'm going to play my little song, get that feeling out, because I'm feeling real nostalgic, and it's a recoloration. When I'm in my studio and I'm blasting my music, it's for a reason. I'm thinking about certain things, and my sense of recall is so clear. I mean, it's frightening. Deep come to me when I'm playing music and I'm to myself and I'm thinking things, and it's like, wow. That's why I'm never at a lack of inspiration. I can be fast asleep. Skirt up and put a mic in my face. Talk about what? Pick a subject, I'll talk about it. Out my sleep. That's how in tune I want to be. Like I said, these last few days, the sleep I've been getting so deep. I look forward to it as I go into the movies. That's what it's like. But let me shift over. And it's been, we'll be back in an hour and 10 minutes, right back here at Lancescurv. It's already set up. And we're going to play a few video clips. Brother Malik is going to speak. I don't know who else he's going to have on, but he wants me to speak at certain point too. So I'm going to just a little and deal with this emotional energy I have. And I feel that energy on me, you know. Remember, Misty Blue by Dorothy Moore. And it's a love song, but it's not about words. For me, it's not about the words that this Dorothy Moore sung. It was about the feeling that my ancestor gave me, showing me those Marcus Garvey paper to mission, prophesying things inside of me. And this is what we got to do to reinforce in our children, because you see, they pick up that so-called smartphone, which is not smart. And those things force what our children should. Even us who are grown, who are still pliable, and we don't know, our mold hasn't been set yet in life. It makes us, this is why you have grandmamas with their boobies hanging out in leaves and what's eating with their daughters and granddaughters for the same. You have guys out here swear they're pimps, or pimp mentality, or they're supposed to use women for playthings instead of feeding, loving. Beautiful women, yes, it's a beautiful thing. But what's even more beautiful is when you can show them that you can love them without demanding something physical from them. Yeah, I see what you got. I'm not mad. But let me give you something that will last so that you can use that as a gauge so that when the jive turkey men come around, you can say, you know what, Lance treated me different. I know I have more value. See? A lot of rolling up of the sleeves to do in the Black community. We don't have to wait for a month. It's about doing what we can do now, whatever it is you can do. Because some people who work out and feel it big and more. We have old grandmamas that can't really do much out there, but she can cook the food to keep them strong. We got people who are injured or can't do anything, and they speak the wisdom and motivation. We all have a role. Just remember that. When you speak into somebody, you just don't know the fire, the righteous fire that you're creating inside of them. Anyway, so one of my sisters didn't have a chance to really see the chat room. It's blocked. I gotta have my camera. I'm gonna rearrange some things in here so I can see everything so clear. Whew. Wow. I'm feeling it. A good chances. Yes. Sweet Berry, Giant Game in the house. And I acknowledged everybody else. My voice is losing. I gotta save it when we do this next show in 1 hour and 7 minutes. But just sign off here and play a little music, and we'll be back. We'll be back. Hope I didn't bore anybody, but it's how I felt, and I wish I can play this song now, but Ruben strikes, you know how that is. Don't want to be bothered with it. I want this show to be out there. Anyway, much love to you all.